Guys. So I am back home. You guys who were paying attention earlier, you guys would see that I was out and about in Harlem at the park. But I ended up deleting my last live because it was not in sync. I hate when that happens, and I notice that it happens more so when I'm out vlogging, walking, than it does when I'm more stationary inside my place. So I ended up having to delete that last video, although I didn't want to because it was so much fun. I had so much fun in that video trying to chase the squirrels away who were desperately trying to intimidate me and steal my fucking food. But I didn't give in. I didn't give them no food. I don't give animals food, by the way. Now, unless they're my own pets. I shared a story where I was in DC and something similar happened. Fucking squirrel stole my popsicle. Stole my popsicle. I was just like, you little sucker. Yo, squirrels think they slick, yo. And it's funny how, like, today, the squirrel that was trying to steal my food, well, he was, like, not really trying to steal it, but he was trying to bully me out of my food, right? I said, no, I wasn't going to give him. And I'm like, no. And then he's staring me down. And then he, like, rises up on his hind legs and, like, opens his mouth. He's like, and I scream out, like, no. And his eyes, like, wide and, like, so then, like, I scare him off, right? But I knew he was going to come back. And he came back with his buddy show. And they're surrounding me. I'm like, seriously? And then one, like, snuck up behind me on the tree and was peering down at me. I'm like, y'all are some fucking bullies. So I said, you know what? I'll let them have it. Someone watching my live at the time said, oh, that's their territory. You're in their territory. No, the earth is our territory, okay? This is everyone's territory. But anyway, I do have a respect for nature, so I'm like, I'll share, and I'll let them have it. It wasn't about really sharing territory, though. It wasn't about territory, as it was about them trying to bully me and them being fucking spoiled and getting what they want, because in New York, a lot of people feed squirrels and the pigeons. They are fucking they eat better than some homeless people, y'all. And so I'm not the one to be giving food like to pigeons and to fucking squirrels. I love animals, don't get me wrong, but no, I don't feed them. And so when you don't give in and you don't give them what they want, what happens? They fucking get agitated. That was you, yes, including animals. The world is ours, yes, including the animals. But I have to get some more of this, yo. This stuff smells so good. And I'm glad you came back, Sammy, so we can continue our discussion. Because I was upset after, like, I ended the live and I checked to see if my video was in sync. It was not. The sound and the video was way out of sync. I'm like, nah, I'm tired of fucking posting these videos that are not in sync. So I deleted it because I was upset. But this smells so good. This is by Icy Connections, the breakup rub. This is so good. So I figure I'll come back and do like a follow-up recap of that video, hoping and assuming that this video will be in sync. Let me know, because you guys will be able to tell to see if the sound, what I'm saying out my mouth, is in sync with the video. I'm assuming it is. Usually it is when I'm in my place stationary. It's just, I guess, walking and bouncing around, you're kind of like crossing over different receptor towers, so that maybe knocks it out of sync. And then also other things that are happening in the air, fucking helicopters, that has a way of knocking videos out of sync. So yeah, unfortunately I had to delete. I didn't want to because I feel like that was a really good live. It's good now? Okay, good. It's good now. So, but I am going to recap. So, you know, you were here in the last live, so you'll see. But, so I was saying, like I was in my last live, where I'm calling this video Impromptu Cuckold Q&A. Considering I did make a video entitled Impromptu Cuckold Q&A last year, right, last summer. Wasn't intentional though, it was kind of like sporadic. That's why I called it impromptu, where I was just at the park and I was testing out to see if I was still shadow banned, right? Because these platforms have a way of shadow banning content creators if they don't make content that's, I guess, agreeable to what they want. And so I was testing it out, and it was really a test. But then someone came on my live and they were asking me questions related to cuckolding, and then, you know, it just kind of went. And so I ended up changing the name, the title of the video to Impromptu Cuckold Q&A. And I also wanted people to see that video and also follow up asking questions. So you guys, in this video, feel free to drop the questions below. We can make this an impromptu cuckold Q&A. It's really about you guys. See, y'all be sitting here pointing fingers at me and like, oh, can you just get straight to the point, or can you just go ahead and talk about this? And it's just like, you guys don't realize how much power you guys have in co-creating the video with me. That if you're watching, especially live here on Facebook, you see that I'm very interactive. So you can kind of direct the course of the discussion by just sharing your thoughts, sharing your comments below, and I build upon that. That's how it works. Most of you guys who see my videos, though, see them through YouTube. So at that point, when it's uploaded to YouTube, no, you don't really have that much say-so in how the video goes necessarily. You're just like an observer, and then you can comment and share your thoughts below. So that's how that works. I've said that before, but I guess I have to keep reiterating that because people have the tendency, they have the fucking audacity to be commenting on my videos and be like, oh, can you just get straight to the point, right? Even on that video, which I made last year, someone recently commented and said, oh, a waste of 58 minutes. I'm just like, I know you just did not sit here and watch this video for fucking the entire time, yo. Like, it's in its entirety. You know, that's on you. And I've gotten comments like that before where people be like, oh my gosh, it's just a waste. Well, why are you fucking watching it? Like, no one is forcing you. I don't force anyone to watch my videos. Let's be clear, okay? I don't. And also, alongside that, I am not pressed for views, as is a lot of fucking content creators. I get it. Like, there is a space, a big space on YouTube especially, where content creators are thirsty for views, right? A lot of views, and they have a specific goal in terms of financial goal that they want to reach, like revenue wise, right? That is not me, although I am a YouTube partner and my videos are monetized. So I do make money from my videos, but it's just like, for me, it's like residual income. It's like, okay, if I make some, I make some. If I don't, it's like I don't depend on fucking YouTube for my survival. Though I appreciate what they pay me, it's just like, that's not why I'm here. I'm here to build connections. So don't get it mistaken. I get it. I am a part of the YouTube community, so people, in their quest for finding content that suits their desires and their interests, they stumble upon my video and they're like, damn, she is just blah, 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 blah. Unlike, you know, other content creators, obviously, who are more commercialized, they have more views. Of course, they obviously probably make more money than I do. We're two different types, so I have to be clear with that. And that is not going to change. I don't see myself becoming this commercialized fucking YouTuber that I feel I have to... No, I'm not doing it. I have to like finagle and put myself in these fucking constraints just to appease the public. No. I'm going to be myself. I don't edit my videos. My videos are raw and uncut. And I love it that way. You know what I'm saying? And I just kind of go. I just go with it. And yes, in the beginning, I talk about whatever the fuck was on my mind. It may not be related to the fucking video. You don't have to watch it, you know. I guess that will be the benefit for people who do watch my videos on YouTube, to just simply wait till it's on YouTube, right? And then you can skip around. But if you're on my live, you don't have to complain about it because you're on my live. So, what else were we talking about in the previous? We were talking about parenting styles. By the way, it's funny because the universe has a way of communicating with you, right? And we were just talking about parenting styles and the difference between, like, that I noticed, my observations, like, where I live in Upper East Side and then when I go to Harlem. And how different parenting styles obviously have an impact on the child, the child's behavior. Do you know, on my way back, I was walking back. I walked there. It's a good walk, too. I mean, I talk about, like, Harlem and Upper East Side, like, you know, they are kissing, but I don't live on the border, necessarily, of Upper East Side and Harlem. Like, it's a good walk. But I like to walk. It's very scenic. So on my way back, I was walking down the sidewalk, and there was this young black mother with a son. He was a toddler. Standing next to her. He was, like, playing on the sidewalk, but I noticed she was holding, like, 2 twin babies. And so the kid, and I understand, I get it, right? Like, mothers are protective. You got to be careful, right? But the kid, he was just, like, on the sidewalk. The sidewalk was pretty wide, by the way. It's a wide fucking sidewalk, and he kind of, like, ventured maybe 2-3 feet away from her, and she's like, get back over here, right? And then as I'm approaching him, or them, right, walking actually in between them, because he's, like, closer towards the street, though there were cars parked parallel alongside the sidewalk, right? When I came closer, he, like, turned around. I guess he felt my energy. He turned around and he just, like, was so happy. This kid was just so, like, really, like, bursting with energy and joy. And he's like, hi. And I love kids, yo. And so I said hello back to him. I mean, why not? I'm like, hi. And do you know what this mother said to him? She yelled at him, yo. Fucking screamed at him. And she was like, what I told you about talking to strangers. You don't talk to strangers. I was like, oh my gosh. I kind of felt bad for him. I mean, I understand it, right? I can understand anything, right? But it's just like, still. That made me think. I was just like, that's kind of fucked up, yo. I mean, I get it. Parents teach their kids, like, oh, be careful, don't talk to strangers. But I have to be honest, it did make me think, right? Like, if I was a different person, if I was of a different complexion, different race for that matter, like, would she have had that same level of fucking protectiveness, right? Like, that energy that she was displaying? Because we were talking about how you were saying how you teach your kids how to think, right? And then I was adding to that to say that parents really teach their kids how to live, how to adapt to the world in which we live in, based on the parents' own personal experiences, right? So it's interesting how we just had that conversation at the park, and then I witnessed this happen. And I'm like, wow, that's the universe speaking to me, right? And it's a bit of a confirmation just to see it play out, because parents do teach their children how to adapt, right? Whether the parent is overbearing, helicopter, strict, or permissive, you're teaching your child based on your own personal experiences living in the world how they should adapt, right? It's for, in your mind, you think, okay, this is the best way to educate them so that they could survive, right? They could fit into this environment because the parent knows what that environment is. And that's going to be different. That's going to vary depending on the household and depending on the environment in which the parent has come from, lives in and has come from, right? And I'm thinking, okay, it makes sense that I mean, I didn't take offense to it because it makes sense contextually speaking, considering where we were, y'all. I was walking through the fucking hood. I mean, I love Harlem. I love the hood. Don't get me wrong, right? Because it just has a different kind of energy to it. But there are things that you see in certain neighborhoods that don't go down to other neighborhoods, right? And it's just for her to have that level of fear, like, and kind of a bit of like kind of over protection, but it makes sense considering the context, right? Because it's like the hood is like considered to be like a dangerous place. There's a lot of crime, you know, in hood areas, right? Or low income, because low income and crime kind of run hand in hand. And so, yeah, on one hand, it makes sense that she would be yelling at him to not engage with strangers, because I know I'm a good person, but let's say I wasn't, right? She would have been removing the safeguard, right? She's putting up a safeguard to put that in him, right? And eventually he's going to internalize that. Over time, though, it has to be like repetition. That's how people learn. Children learn through repetition. And eventually, through repetition, he will internalize that, oh, I need to be careful. I shouldn't speak back. I shouldn't engage with strangers, right? So that she wouldn't have to do that, right? It'll come to a point where she won't have to say that to him. He will already have that in his mind, right? But it still made me think, though, because he is a young black boy. I'm a black woman. And I know there are implicit racial biases that we all hold, right? They're implicit and they're subconscious. You're not really quite aware, right? It's just how you've been conditioned. We all have been conditioned in a certain way. So it just made me wonder, like, what is she really communicating to him on a subconscious level, right? That he's not aware of, especially based on how she guides his behavior when it comes to other people of other races, right? Because that was one interaction that occurred, right? But it just made me wonder, okay, what are the other interactions? Because I'm not the first stranger. He will encounter and has encountered many strangers, right? So it just made me think, does she take that level of precaution when he's interacting with other strangers from other races or other ethnic groups? Even, when it comes to sex, because that's going to determine how he perceives that group of people as he grows older, right? So you were saying, Sammy, you teach your children how to think, or to think independently, right? To think on their own. And I wanted to elaborate on that, to say, I don't think that we can really teach people how to think. Thinking is something that is innate. We are thinking beings, right? You don't really teach a person to think, but you can teach them, I guess, what to think. You can kind of guide their thought process in a way. But if you are hinting at the idea that you basically want your children to think for themselves, then you can't teach them to think for themselves, right? They're going to think for themselves, right? Does that make sense? Like, you're saying you're teaching your children to think for themselves, but is that really thinking for themselves, though? That's kind of like a catch-22 or oxymoron in a way. Okay, you teach them to think critically. Okay. And you do that by how? Engaging with them, challenging them to think critically. All right, fair. That's fair enough. When they reach the age of reason. Yeah. Okay, I understand now. Glad you were able to clear that up. So, yeah, going back, there's a lot of things that we discussed in the previous video. I'm just kind of recapping. And also going back to the title of this video and a comment that was left on the previous video that I made last year on Impromptu Cuckold Q&A. And this guy is just like, oh, he felt it was a waste. But then it made me think, okay, I could do a Q&A. Feel free, and I have, but to kind of address multiple questions from multiple people in one video. You guys have to catch me live, though, here on Facebook, and that's why I try to encourage people who see me on YouTube to do. But I get it, not everyone is on Facebook, because you do have to create a profile. You can't just see my live videos on Facebook without logging in. You have to be logged in to be on a live video while I'm recording it. But even, if you see this video after it's uploaded to YouTube, I am open for you guys to send questions to my inbox, which I still have a lot of unread messages. And I know I won't be able to address it all in one email. Someone even sent me a follow-up today. And in the email I'm reading it, I'm like, did I? He was like, oh yeah, I saw that you answered my question. You addressed my email. And I'm just like, did I? And he's like adding more to it in the current email he sent today. And I'm just like, 'cause he's talking about crushing balls and shit like that, right? I'm like, did I even talk about it? I don't even remember talking about that. But then I had to search his name, and I saw his other email, which was already read, right? It was not unread, it was a read email. So I'm like, okay, I guess I did address that, and I kind of remember. But I do have a lot of unread messages that I have not, related to Coco, I have not addressed yet. And I want to find a way to kind of integrate it all in one, if I can. Maybe a 3-part Q&A series. Because I get so many, but I realize that the more I make Coco videos, the more you guys ask me more questions, like the more people. And I already said I don't want my channel to be highly saturated with a whole bunch of fucking Coco videos. Having said that, I wondered why I never got a response from my email, as you don't receive messages on Facebook. Well, that's the thing. Okay, this is how the Facebook messages go, and I told my family this too, even when I was living in LA, because my cousin, he was like, oh, I messaged you on Facebook. We was going to try to surprise you. He said that he was going to pay for like flights for like my entire family to come see me in LA. And he was like, oh, but he telling my family I didn't respond to his Facebook message. I'm like, yo, you have my phone number, first of all. Second of all, there are times when I don't see my Facebook messages. Do you understand with Facebook messages? That's a separate application than Facebook itself, right? So they'll say, oh, I saw you on Facebook. I know you're on Facebook. I see you active on Facebook right now. You just posted. Why didn't you read my message? And it's just like, those are two separate applications. And it annoys me that they're two separate applications. So with them being two separate applications, sometimes it's difficult for me to access my Facebook inbox unless I download Facebook Messenger, and that takes up space on my phone. Now I think I have something, like periodically I'll download it, right? But then there are times I won't. And Facebook, the way when I check my notifications is weird. Sometimes when I click on a message that's sent to me to my inbox, I can click on notification and it takes me to my inbox. Other times it does not take me to my inbox. It will just encourage me or urge me to download Facebook Messenger. So that's where it kind of gets weird. And so I just tell people, listen, to fucking alleviate any confusion, right? If you're really trying to reach me, right, you don't have my direct phone number, my contact information, then here's how you can do it. That's the reason why I set up that automated message when you guys send me an inbox, where like, okay, this is how you can reach me. Just email me, because guess what? I check my email. My Gmail is very easy for me to access, right? I have to check it because I get important emails sent to that, business related, So I check that like at least 2 times a day, sometimes 3 times a day, probably more than it. It just depends on what's happening in my life. So just email me. But yeah, I do have unread email messages. I have a lot, not just related to YouTube and cuckolding, but I just have a lot of fucking unread messages because it's just a lot of people be emailing. Some of it is just spam, so I try to like filter it out. The Facebook Messenger says you do not read them and directs you to send you a message via email, which I created that automated message for my inbox. And I did that not only for my personal page, Danielle Leach, but also for my business page, Ubawa, or specifically for Ubawa, I did that because that's business, right? So people be like messaging you on Facebook wanting to do business. It's like, no, that's how you weed out people who really want to do business, because you're messaging me on Facebook to do business. No, you email me. That's how you do business. So I did that with that account for my nonprofit organization, and then I did it for my personal account for different reasons. Mainly because I just don't really, sometimes I don't have access to Facebook Messenger. Right, like right now, it's not on my phone. Facebook Messenger is not downloaded on my phone. And shit. So, hold on, let me be right back, you guys. I spilled my drink. It's that simple. I feel like sometimes people make things complicated. It doesn't really have to be complicated. Let's not complicate simple matters. If it says reach out to me, recently, and sometimes I do read my Facebook inbox when I'm like downloading, like after I like download my video from Facebook and I upload it to YouTube. I do that process via my laptop. And so with that, yeah, you don't have to download Facebook Messenger. You can just fucking open your inbox. And I saw where I got an inbox message from a very beautiful, I don't know if she's Indian or what her ethnic background is, but very beautiful woman. And she was like, can I ask you a question? And I didn't even reply to her. So don't take it personal. I just want people to follow directions and just simply email me. Just email me, y'all. I have a lot of unread messages on Facebook, too. Just email me. You email me. Now you're going to have me open my laptop to just check to see. Let me get some spray. Alright. Hold on. I'm going to open it to see. Because I think I remember. And then some, you know what? I don't respond to every email, especially as it relates to Cuckold, because nah, man, some of y'all, I think it's just the way you guys, like the way y'all frame questions or your comment. I find it to be inappropriate. So if I deem it inappropriate, like if you're not kind of tactful and respectful in your email, then yeah, I'm not going to reply. Hold on, let me check my inbox. So yeah, and then like that was that guy, right, who made that comment about, oh, it's wasted 58 minutes. And then today, that was weird, yo. I mean, like, it is not, I won't say like it's not unusual, because it has happened, right, where people from social media, from YouTube, when they encounter me in real life, they're just like, oh, you're on YouTube. That happens so much in fucking LA. I'm like, made me wonder, who sent you for real? Because my channel is not that big, and I like the size that it is now. I think it's more problematic to have more fucking viewers and more subscribers. I feel like it's a safe, intimate space that we have now. I'm checking my email. But, it's more viewers, more subscribers, more problems. More problems that I don't feel like I would want to deal with. I'm checking my email and I see something else. Alrighty then. Avoiding you. Let me know something. Like, come on. All right. All right. It's kind of weird. Talk about red flags. Like, what? Yeah, so I had an encounter, like, when I was walking headed to Harlem, and this black guy was like, YouTube, I saw you on YouTube just out of nowhere, and I'm just like, what? And he took off he lowered his shades, right, so I can see his face, as if that really made a difference. I'm like, I don't know you. He was like, oh, well, yeah, like, I know you, I watch your videos, but you don't know me. But he was like, I'm like, okay. And then it was like, so, and I'm trying to get an idea, okay, which video, like, resonates with which video that, trying to confirm, like, do you really know me from YouTube? So he's like, yeah, your videos, I kind of like the video where you're talking about the black man penis being a weapon, which that's not something I originally said. That's something that I paraphrased from Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, okay? She was a very prominent black psychiatrist here in America. So that comes from her book, The ISIS Papers. I actually cited her in my dissertation research. But I talk about, her theory in my videos on cuckolding, right? So I guess he stumbled across he's watched that video, and then he wants to offer some criticism or critique, like, oh, I watch your videos, but he's saying, he was like, oh, you take a while to get to the point, and, he made up like an example, which that's not what I do, but his example was, like picking your nose and boogers out your hair and this and the other, and then you finally get to the point, and I'm just like, looking at him, I'm like, okay. And he's standing there, and I just like walked away, like, what am I supposed to say? But I just think that's fucking weird, yo. I don't understand, like, people need to get a grip. Everything is not about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't make my videos necessarily catered to a specific person. even though people directly ask me to provide my response is going to come how it comes. Whether you like it or not, you know, if you stumble across my videos, then all right. I get it. We live in a society where people want things quick, right? And a certain group of people especially feel like videos are just like, it's like objects, right? Or people that make these videos are just objects, and you're just trying to get your needs met through these objects by, you know, you see the title and you're like, oh, okay, let me watch this video because it can fulfill a certain need I have in the moment, and if it doesn't meet your need in the moment how you expect, then oh, you get mad at the person who made the video. It's just like, no, go find something else, motherfucker. That does meet your fucking need, you know? I didn't say what you wanted me to say or how you wanted me to say it. That ain't my fucking fault. It's not going to change, okay? Because as I already stated here and before many times over, that I am not a commercialized content creator. I don't wish to be. So with that being said, my videos are just going to be my videos. That's just how it is. Someone's calling me. It's just going to be how it comes out, and that's how it comes out. You know? I'm not trying to make fucking commercials. My videos are not edited on purpose, okay? Though I do want to get into documentary filmmaking, but that's something separate. I'm glad she did follow up, because I was wondering, like, what is going on here? But that's kind of weird. Yo. We live in some weird times, y'all. Some fucking weird, unpredictable times. I'm about to look up your email now. I just had to address something else. I guess your email is your name, right? The same name? Or a different name? The price you pay? You pay for fame? I'm not famous. Don't desire to be. But yeah, I think it's kind of weird where people be like, what the fuck? I didn't answer. Stop calling me. What the hell, man? Leave a voicemail or something. That's happened to me, like, even when I was in LA. That's happened to me, like, on dating site. People like, oh, like, you make YouTube videos, and it's not indicated on my fucking dating profile, right? But then it'll, like, say that. I'm just like, okay, I'm not talking to you. Definitely not talking to your ass. Because, creates a very weird power dynamic here. So, oh, okay, your last name. I see who you are. Oh, you know what? You only sent one. Did you only send one? You know what? The funny thing, now that you mention that, I was actually going to read your email as part of my last video I made on cuckolding. But you see how long it went, right? And it was kind of, let me pull up, what's the name of the video I did? Yeah, on my video, former black swinger bull shares his experience. That fucking video was so loaded, where I was going to integrate your email, the one that you sent here on September 20th, 7 days ago. I was going to integrate that with that video, but it, like, intentionally, like, in my mind, I had that intention, right? But then I was so kind of immersed in that topic that it did slip my mind. And then I realized, you know what, it probably wouldn't have fit anyway, given that that video was just on a separate topic. So, yeah, I'll get around to it. I'll address it. Don't worry. Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate that. Where are you from? The UK. I see that your email has UK in it. Yeah, I looked it up. I see. So, probably about to end this video because someone keeps calling me. I think I know who it is. And I will catch you guys later. We're going to come back, okay, and do an official impromptu cuckold. This video is kind of just like a heads up for you guys who want me to say more about the particular things that you're interested in. But I have to catch you guys in the next one. I do have to go because someone keeps calling. And I think I know who it is. Catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your interaction. Some people just watch. So I like that you engage. You know, you're not afraid to type, to share your comments. You know, we don't have to agree on everything. Just because I disagree or you disagree with me, you know, we don't have to be upset and down each other's throats, you know. No right or wrong. It's just a matter of perspective. So I appreciate your level of maturity with that. On that note, I will catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.